What's going on, everybody? Today, Remnant 2 has its biggest patch to date, and it's coming out tomorrow with the Forgotten Realms DLC. And with that, a humongous laundry list of changes, and rebalancing as well. I wanted to go over real quick some important changes that are not only going to affect the way you play this DLC, but the way you play this game in general. Let's break that down. Alright, patch notes for the April 23rd, which is tomorrow. Forgotten Kingdom DLC launch, of course, everyone's excited for the new DLC coming out. Alright, we got some UI changes here, nothing too special. Here's a big one. Increase the movement speed cap from 150% to 200%. That's affecting sprint, jog, crouch, and ADS speed. Movement speed in a Souls-like this is very important, so an extra bit of movement speed, great. Alright, bleed and slow, looks like they're getting rebalanced a little bit here, nothing too crazy to go in right now. The exposed debuff. This is going to increase damage from 15% by all sources. Alright, shooting range is getting updated. Alright, nothing too big there. Roaming aberration spawns. So on lower difficulties, you're going to have a better chance to get the corrupted shards now. And the developer note here, on Apocalypse, you still get a 50% chance of having them spawn. So Apocalypse still is the best way to spawn these in. But if you can't quite handle an Apocalypse thing, maybe you're playing solo, slightly better chance of finding them on Survivor difficulty. Alright, traits. Glutton's getting a 5% boost, that's nice, I like Glutton. Handling is being nerfed from 40% to 30%. They're saying spray reduction was still a little bit high across the board, so they're affecting that. The Wayfarer trait is being removed and it's being combined with the Swiftness trait. Alright, so I did go through the archetypes a little bit. Looks like everything's getting reworked. Some better, some worse. There's a lot to go over here. I will link the patch notes in the description down below if you want to check that out yourself. But it looks like every single thing is getting reworked. They did say they have plans to make Invader a little bit better, which is nice because Invader is kind of lacking right now. Alright, melee weapons. The Assassin's Dagger is getting nerfed. Removed additional damage buff when attacking bleeding targets and reduced base damage from 41 to 35. World's Edge, reduced abnormally high impact and stagger, reducing the base damage on the wave and reducing the critical hit chance. So World's Edge is getting a huge nerf. Hero Sword getting a little bit of a buff here, reduce stamina cost and reduce minimum time required for the projectile. That's nice. Alright, for the standard guns, most of the guns are getting reworked a little bit, some are getting reworked a lot. Like if we go to the MP40, we get an extra reserve magazine. It's fine, extra 42 bullets, nothing bad. Silverback Model 500 is going from a 5-cylinder capacity to 6. That's actually really nice. That was one of my complaints in the shotgun video. Tech 22 increases reload speed and reserves by 2 magazines. Nice. Western Classics getting a reload speed buff, increased fire rate, increased damage. Excellent. Pulse Rifle is getting a recoil buff. That's nice. The Pulse Rifle is already a solid weapon. The accuracy increased to help give it a more unique flavor. Here's another one I wanted to talk about, the Royal Bow. It's increasing the fire rate from 4.3 to 5.3, reduced time to charge perfect shot, and increased reload speed. Of note, to help separate each bow, the Royal Bow has become the speed sharpshooter option. It's faster in almost every aspect. That's going to be interesting. Sparkfire, my favorite weapon right now. Slightly reduced the fire rate from 1.4 to 1.3, slightly reduced reload speed. So it is a minor debuff, but I don't think it's going to affect it that much. Both the Rune Pistol and Corrupted Rune Pistol are getting slight buffs, which is good. I like the Corrupted Rune Pistol a lot. Sorrow's getting a bullet velocity buff, that's nice. And again, there are a lot of changes in this thing, so if you need to look up a specific weapon to see how it's been changed, go for it. I just wanted to highlight kind of the important ones or the meta ones right now. Merciless. Increases projectile speed from 5,000 to 7,500. That is huge. That is one of my main complaints about Merciless was the bullet velocity. Greatly increasing reload speed, increasing the speed of the reticle compression. It is reducing the bleed damage and the mod cost is going up, but I think that's fair. I would actually like to try Merciless with this update. Nightfall. Increase projectile speed from 10,000 to 1350. Excellent. A little bit of a damage nerf, but better fire rate, so an overall DPS increase. Magazine goes from 10 to 13, and total ammo goes up to 117. So the Starkiller is getting completely reworked, which is good, because the Starkill in Remnant 1 was very good. The Starkill in Remnant 2, kind of lacking. They are saying here that they're trying to bring it up to what's former glory, but we'll see how it plays out. Alright, swappable mods. I kind of went through this list. Everything is getting kind of touched just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. If a mod was good before, it's probably still good after. Ranged mutators. Now, some of these are crazy. Some of these are going to be absolutely destroyed after this patch. So Extender is getting a capacity bonus, reload speed bonus. That's good. I like Extender. Momentum reducing the critical bonus per stack from 3% to 2%. So Momentum isn't going to be quite as good. I think it'll still be okay, but we'll see. Twisting Wounds increases the bleed duration from 200 over 10 seconds to 200 over 20 seconds. So bleed will last longer now, although it'll be dealing a little less damage. Fetid Wounds reduce corrosion from 200 over 10 seconds to 75 over 10 seconds. So huge nerf to Fetid Wounds. Kind of disappointing, especially with Invoker, the new class, having elemental damage. So we're gonna have to see if that gets replaced or we just kind of rock it as it is. All right, trinkets and amulets. Now they did say that, you know, damage is king in the next slot, which is true. Your amulet is more powerful than all your rings, but they're going kind of crazy here. Abrasive whetstone, one of the best in the game. It's reducing the critical bonus damage from 30% to 15%. That is a huge nerf. I'm not sure if abrasive whetstone's gonna be able to keep up after that. Unk of Power, reducing total damage bonus from 30 to 25%. Not a huge debuff, but still. Daredevil's Charm, removing the damage penalty, which they did say if you're not wearing armor, it's already pretty huge, so they're removing that to increase the movement speed. So that's nice. Full Moon Circlet getting a buff, increases rain damage bonus from 20 to 25%. I like that. Gunslinger's Charm is increasing reload speed from 20 to 25%. Again, nice. I like when these like off-meta amulets get buffed. Gives them a chance to maybe come around. Nightweaver's Grudge, reducing the critical chance from 20 to 15% and increasing the ranged from 15 to 20 meters. So Grudge is a huge thing right now, especially with the bleed ring. So again, they're nerfing that. All right, trinkets and rings. I did see on all the elemental rings, like acid damage is going from 10 to 12%, same thing with the fire ring and all the other ones. So slight bonuses there. Ahane Crystal is going down from 5% to 4%. So again, elemental builds. Kari Warband is getting nerfed, reducing the critical hit chance by 5% and reducing the damage by another 5%. Kind of unfortunate. Braided Thorns changed to grant 10% critical chance and removing the on-kill behavior. That one might be in the meta. Burden of the Gambler getting nerfed for some reason. I don't think this ring even sees any play right now. Kind of what it is. Devour Loop's getting reworked. It's changing to grant 1 charge per proc per skill. That's a mouthful. Phelan Sigil getting a 5% buff. Nice. Faerun Sigil mod generation from 10% to 12.5%, also good. Firestone, like I said, 10% to 12%. Same thing with the Grounding Stone, lightning damage, shock, 10 to 12. Probability Cord going from 30% to 20%. They are really nerfing crit in this build of the game. It's kind of unfortunate. I mean, crit is the best way to deal damage in this game right now. They're trying to find other ways to deal that, whether that be elemental damage or going all in on something else. Vestige of Power, reducing the time to proc from 7 seconds to 5 seconds. That's fine. Warren Admiral Ring, increasing all damage bonus from 10% to 15%. Ooh, I kind of like that. Xania's Malice, increasing the stack from 3 to 4. Good. Reducing the bonus damage per stack from 10 to 5%, and reducing the duration from 7 seconds to 5%. So yeah, Xania's Malice not looking too good anymore. Relics. I did go through this real quick. They kind of, you know, just fixed a couple of them, but all the big players untouched. You know, Tranquil Heart, my favorite, still the best in the game, you know, for me personally. Not touched in this update. Relic Fragments. It looks like a lot of them are being nerfed. Armor effectiveness reducing from 15% to 10%. Range critical chance, again, 10% to 7.5%. They really hate crit right now. Range critical damage from 20 to 15. Skill duration max reduced from 15 to 10. And weapon spread, again, 20 to 15. So the Apocalypse is going to feel a lot harder than it normally is. Concoctions, they're getting a slight buff, which is nice, because I personally don't use concoctions that often. I might use one if we're playing a 3-player game, but meh. Consumables are getting cheaper, that's fine. And then miscellaneous bugs fixes. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff in these patch notes. Please go ahead and read them for yourselves if you need to see anything in particular. But yeah, I have 2 invoker builds that I'm going to work on, a crit build and an elemental build, so stay tuned for those. And everybody have fun with the DLC tomorrow. I'll see you. Peace.